All right, Shalom Israel. Real quick video giving all praises to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai by Shem Rakah Kadash. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops, great millstone. Much salutation to the brothers teaching word for the hopeful elect, soon to be elect. Most High will to the hopeful extended elect, Shalom blessings. Many people don't believe in this truth because their own personal reasons, and they don't really take much for the unbelievers because it's not for them to believe anyway. So they'll have some questions about Noah's Ark. They'll have some questions about, did Yahweh Shai walk on water, which they ignorantly call Jesus Christ, or many other things written in the scriptures, and then them themselves, as far as being human, being formed in the mother's womb, by the loins of a man, the miraculous things that happen, from just a seed being planted, what they got to do with humans or trees, that seed for the fruit to that's crazy in itself. The moon, the sun, moon, and the stars, just intricate details about things that were created, and even when Edras was asking all those questions, Angel was telling him that you're going to even marvel more, and even regarding Noah's Ark, nothing is impossible with the Most High. With men, it is impossible. That's why right here it says Matthew 19:26. But Yahweh Shai beheld them and said unto them, with men, it is impossible. But with the Most High, it says all things are possible. And it reiterates in Mark 10:27. Now, just some little pointers. And they said they found evidence of the real physical ark. Mind you, Noah was 600 years, I think, a little bit over 600 years when it began to rain on the earth. That's a long time. And, even the maintenance of, the animals and the creatures, is very possible if he lived that long. And the ship being, or the boat being that big. And also, you got a thing called Pangea, where the earth mass was all in one, but the flood separated the land. That's why you got peninsulas today. Water crevices, through the lands of the earth. Also, just to make our people think, many of the creatures that they know how. I mean, they swim in water, like the whales and other creatures that can survive in the water. Then you had, well, let me see. I think it tells, yeah, Genesis 7:11, and a lot of these creatures, if you, I did ask Chat GPT. 50%, they say 50% to 70%, I think, of American animals are mixed breed. They're not the real original breed of animals. So you'll have a lot of dogs over here that wasn't even around during Noah's time, and if you're talking about elephants and all that, well, Noah could have easily brought into this because we are bigger too and stronger. He could have easily brought baby elephants into the boat, into the ship. Well, I'll call it a boat because that's what it. But it said in the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of the heaven were open. Came to pass, 10 says it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth in the 600th year. So imagine 600 years, man. Well, of course, he grows up and stuff like that, but I'm just saying, imagine all of it, and it is maintenance. Now, I looked at a clip of Philippine pet store, and I put it in the biggest pet store, and modern day pet store, especially this big, they have a display of the animals that they're taking care of, the other creatures that they're taking care of, lizards, snakes, and this is like, this is easy for them even to maintain. And the thing about it is the strength of men has gotten weaker. They act like they advanced. See, America makes you feel like it's advanced and it's greater, and men are stronger, women are stronger. That's it's all BS. This is the weakest state that man ever been in. So you're gonna tell me that they able to do this and have this and establish this and care for this in this manner of whether they have all sorts of animals and creeping things, just like it says in the Bible about Noah, but it wasn't possible in Noah's day. And you remember, Most High can make miracles happen at any time. Moses slew the rock, and water came out of the rock when the children were complaining, about their lives, the children of Israel. There are always miraculous things happening in the earth with angels and all that. Even to this very day, people, a lot of people don't believe. But, if you go back, and I don't, let me see. I got to go back to that, one of my favorite scriptures. I get this pretty often when I'm talking about the miracles of the Most High. It's 11. No, this is Ecclesiastes 11:5. It says, and thou not knowest, and thou, Ecclesiastes 11:5. It's like, as thou knowest not what is the way of the spirit, nor how the bones do grow in the womb of her that is with child, even so thou knowest not the works of the Most High who maketh all. So, the intricate details of and complex details of a human being formed in a woman's womb is it devastates science. Of man. That's miraculous in itself. The copulation that is part of the growing into a being that is made up of all kind of creatures, and it's not and it says that in the scriptures, it's not the same, that you have one kind after its kind and another kind after of its kind. You have celestial beings, you have terrestrial beings. So you'll have a seed of man. You'll have a seed of the whales. You have seed of the lions, the bears, the tigers, and all that, and the panthers and the lizards and all that after its kind. It says that in the scriptures in the beginning when God created these creatures. So, if those are things are true, they're right here as evidence on the earth. And so, how can they say the Bible is untrue, or is all these things are unbelievable when we're the evidence of things coming forth that the Most High had made? So men can't breathe underwater. If we had spiritual powers, we could, but um, you'll have the great wells in the waters and all that. And then you have things on land, and you have different creatures in the animal world that have, a defense system, their own defense system, so forth. That's the miracles of the Most High, man. Creations of the Most High. I don't understand why these people don't believe in the Most High, but it wasn't in them. It says the fool in his heart believe it. There is no God. You got to be a fool to believe that there is no God. You got to be a dumb, stupid ass of a being to not believe in his higher power, man. So we don't have to bring evidence. It's based on our faith, but we pull out information. Esau even tell you information about Noah's Ark being real. So, at the end of the day, these people can ask an extensive amount of questions, unlimited amount of questions. And when you think we're supposed to answer, sit there and answer all your questions about, to prove to you that the Most High exists. If you don't believe in him, that's you. And it says the unbelievers have their part in the lake of fire. So that's on these demons, devils. That's what they turn into. They make an excuse to do, things upon the earth that are not permittable with the Most High. So it's easy for them to say he doesn't exist. But they do all this devil worship. They believe in man, to worship man, idolize man, and do all this other BS on earth. So they're going to be destroyed with fire, man. And it's a rightful judgment for them that don't believe. Like I said, we're not going to, all our lives try to prove to you that the Most High exists. But then you yourselves marvel at the things that are, things that happen on the earth, shaken up by things that happen on the earth. And then you might call out for God. But, in any case, you're going to marvel a lot, man. You're going to marvel even more. Because people really don't sit down and really think about it logically. They don't really sit down and think about it like, wait a minute. How are these things being? How are they, brought forth? Because the so-called white man didn't make it. As much as he bragging, and pride himself, he didn't make man. So he just says a Big Bang Theory. Yeah, we all came from. Keep listening to his dumb ass, man. See where you end up. And then it says what it says in the scriptures. It says, I forgot my thought. But I didn't want to make this too long. Most High said he even made the wicked for the day of evil. So, it's a lot of things, like I said, that to marvel about, that these people will never understand. So, it's not our job to make you believe. Even when Yahweh Shai was healing, he said this can't happen to you basically unless you believe. So guess what? We believe. We have faith that it happened. We have faith that the missiles are coming to America. We have faith that all these wicked ass people are gonna die, and eventually the elite of the wicked is gonna bow down and go into slavery. We believe in all that, you know. So keep marveling, man, because there's a lot of things coming up and going to happen that to marvel about. So keep tuned in, you unbelievers, man. Keep tuned in, man. Anyway, hopefully it was edifying to the next video. Shalom.